Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, I just want to highlight this YouTube channel that I've been watching, and it's very interesting, right? This guy's a car dealer, and he's dealing with clients who are some of them who are tour hosts, right? And look at the name of this video here: tour host over 200,000 upside on Lamborghini, Hummer, and G wagon. And then another one here, Tura host has 9 cars she rents is 91,000 upside down, and she wants to sell them all. 91,000 negative equity, right? So we have to be careful about what we finance because if we're going to finance something, we probably want to deal with assets that make us money, right? Like real estate. But here's the thing about real estate, right? Just because you buy real estate doesn't mean it will be productive for you, right? Whether it's financially or just spiritually and emotionally. Because if that were true, tired landlords wouldn't exist. Okay. So if you take a look here, do a Google search, there's tons and tons of information about tired landlords because, after you own real estate for the first year, you're like, I'm over it, right? A lot of people are like that. And the reason why a lot of people are like that is simply because for financial reasons. Like if the juice is not worth the squeeze, right? If the tenant's giving you hassle and headaches, and the best case scenario for most landlords is $200 a month in cash flow. And if you don't believe me, go to Bigger Pockets, yeah, good cash flow blog, right? And then right here, the biggest real estate investing website on the internets, right? What is good cash flow? Well, if I just do Control F and the word or the number 200, it says right here, good cash flow for a rental property, you can aim to 100, 200 a month. 100 to 200 a month. Okay. So do you think that even with something like real estate, unlike a car where you buy it, goes down in value, it goes up in value usually. And not only that, you get a tenant pay you that it's worth it. Well, I'll tell you what, it's only worth it when the juice is worth the squeeze. And if you're able to get a good property with a good tenant and pay off your debt quickly, then it's not an issue, right? Then you'll be easily able to dominate rental real estate with just a couple of rentals. You don't even need 20. They're like the people on the internet where it's like, I got 20 rental properties in 1 year, and it's like they're all over leveraged, and it's like, ugh, it's a lot of risk. So this is my method of doing it, or this is what my plan is and what I'm currently doing right now. I'm a little bit, I'm going to tell you, like, I can't fathom imagining like owning 20 doors. I'd rather own 2 to 3 or 4 that are more productive than 20 that are all leveraged, right? So that's just me, okay? You don't have to follow me. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm not a tired landlord because when the tenant pays me, I can't even remember that I own rental real estate. That's how it should be. That's what passive is, right? When people talk about passive income, that's what it is. When you have to always put out fires, it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, what kind of profession, what kind of field you're working. If you always have to deal with fires that you got to put out, it's tiring, right? But there's a reason why there's so many tired landlords because a lot of people do it wrong. Okay. And we're talking about, one way to do it right, which is doing velocity banking. Now, if you don't know what velocity banking is, all it is a debt payoff strategy where you use a line of credit as your main operating account to pay off debt, right? That's all it is. Okay. And so we have a budget here of $7,000 of income, $6,300 of expenses. And then when you just do the expense breakdown, right? You have 3 credit cards, an auto loan, a student loan, and a mortgage. And here you got $647 of savings. Now, the first question we ask is, should we buy real estate at this point in our life, right? Are we ready? And it depends, right? But if you're just going to go into a single family home and get a tenant in there and you're going to finance most of it, that's a lot of risk because what if your tenant doesn't pay you, right? What if your tenant does not pay you and the rent's like $2,000 a month and your mortgage is 1,400? What are you going to do then? A lot of people, okay, don't will just freak out if the tenant doesn't pay, and then they wonder why tenants don't pay or doesn't respect them because people don't respect people who freak out. That's just how life works, right? And so, what I would do in my own case is pay off all my personal debts first, And then once I have enough cushion to withstand unpaid rent, then that's when I would buy real estate. So this is what we're going to do first. Okay. We're going to pay off all of our debt, and then get into real estate, right? Rental real estate. And then we're going to dominate rental real estate. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So let's go ahead and pay off our personal debts first. So what do we need to do for Velocity Banking? Number one, we need a budget. And number two, we need a line of credit as our main operating account. So if we sum up these credit cards, right, this is, how much is this? Okay, this is 27 plus 35 plus 12. All right, 74,000. Okay. Right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend we have a $75,000 line of credit. Is it really 74? 27, 35, 12. Okay. $75,000 line of credit. So what does this mean? Basically, you can pull out money up to $75,000, go to the bank's website, click a button, and then they'll put cash into your checking account at an 8% interest rate while you're borrowing the money. That's really all that means, right? That's what a line of credit is. It's a financial tool. You can borrow money, pay back, and use it over and over again. I have tons and oodles of lines of credit. Look at that. Oh, this is my line of credit, right? That's beautiful. $280,000. And in total, I have $575,000 in lines of credit. And what's the secret to getting all this credit? See, people don't understand the credit game. They really don't. But if you want to understand credit, you have to understand how banks make money, right? And banks make money by lending to people who don't need money. Does that make sense? Because people who don't need money are not at risk, whereas people who need money aren't likely to pay it back, right? So if you want to get credit, if you want to get lines of credit, you have to understand the game. And I always get money when I don't need it. That's just how it works. People are shocked to hear that. But I went over this in other videos, but I'm just gonna, that's a quick review of how to get lines of credit. Okay. People are like making this way too overcomplicated. And not only that, they always like to FOMO and fear me out and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, but whatever. All right. So what's the difference between the average American side and the velocity banking side? Well, we all know that the average American uses their checking account to pay for things, and whatever's left over, they put in the savings account, right? Because it's seen as the responsible thing. So what we're going to do is we're not going to have any savings. This is the scary part. Not having any savings, we're going to put our big boy pants on, and then what we're going to do is use our line of credit as our main operating account. Or have a concept called cash flow. Now, most people, they won't have a free and clear line of credit because, like I said, if you're in this situation where you need money, bank's not going to lend to you. So this is like a warning: don't even be here. I actually learned this strategy before I even had money. That's the funny part, right? Now, and then as I got more money, that's when I applied the strategy. Okay, but it's kind of like it prepared me to never get here. But let's say we had a line of credit and then we can move it into all this into a line of credit. Well, this is 74,000, right? 74000. And when we just do a balance transfer or just a transfer of debt, right? Guess what happens to these payments? They all go to zero, 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 right? And so miraculously, out of magic, we went from $647 to about 3 grand in interest, 3 grand. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to do the math that we always do. All right. And then we're going to take the average daily balance, previous month's balance plus the previous month's interest minus 2949.55, which is our cash flow, right? Because what's the strategy? Paycheck in, expenses out, and then this cash flow number will be used to eliminate our debt. Okay, that's all it is, the cash flow number. Okay, now obviously we do have to pay some interest because, like a credit card, they charge you interest for using it every single month. So we get the average daily balance multiplied by the interest rate and then divide by 12. Okay, that's all it is, divide by 12. All right, so now we pay it off, right? We pay all of this off. And all right, so now, okay, and so let me go ahead and show you that in 28 months, whoa, we paid it off. Less than 3 years. Not bad for 74 grand, right? 74 grand, 74K, okay, in, what was it, 28 months? 28 months. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to copy and paste, right? And then now what we need to do is we need to get rid of these loans. So luckily we have this loan calculator right here. We just type in the number of when what balance of to get the current balance of the loan. 14 grand in my auto loan. Let's move that to the line of credit. And you might be, why the auto loan? Because it gives us the most cash flow, most bang for our buck for moving it into the line of credit. So it's 14259.53. And then, all right, so now guess what? This auto loan goes to 0. And now our cash flow is 3.4 grand. Okay. All right. So we got that covered. Control, paste, whoopsie, paste the values here. And then now we got to replace this right here. Okay. So this is 3432.87. Whoopsie, 87. Okay. 32 months paid off. That was easy. So that's 74 plus 25. So it's 99K. Okay. 99K and 34. Was it 34 months? Let me just quickly check. Yeah, 32 months. All right. And then in 32 months, what's the student loan? 32. And then, all right. Whoopsie. What happened here? Oh, you know what? Someone messaged me. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So let's just mute that for one moment. Hopefully I muted it. Okay. So now let's go ahead and this is now 0. Let's move the student loan into the line of credit. Now, here's the thing. Just as a general rule, anything over 50 in what we call the cash flow index, not the best candidate for moving into a line of credit, but the balance I think is low enough and we have enough cash flow, should be fine. It's not going to ruin us, but if we did this for things like a mortgage, that would be absolutely no bono. Is that how you say it in Italian? I don't know Italian, but I know a little bit of Spanish, just a little bit. In fact, I actually made a video in Spanish explaining this. You probably look it up somewhere. All right, plus 26059.53. Okay. And then now what's our cash flow? This is 0. And then 3800.9. All right, so now we're going to update this number, right? 3800. Whoop. Got to take this away. Got to take this away. All right, so let's see how long it takes us to pay it off. And then in 39 months, that is all paid off. 39 months, right? So this is 99 plus 33. This is 132K. And then 32 plus how many months? Oh man, I have a memory of a fish. 39 months. Okay, so now we paid that off all in for less than 5 years, and then so let's just go to the loan, and then 39. This is the value of the mortgage, and now, okay, what we gotta do is we gotta attack the principal of the loan, and we talk about this thing called the chunking method. So what you do is you just take a small chunk and then just move it into the line of credit. But what's most important is that we got to attack the mortgage last. Just because something is 6% for a car loan, okay, doesn't mean we want to attack, or this one right here, 6.1%, the highest interest rate, doesn't mean we want to attack it first just because it has the highest interest rate, right? We're thinking mostly in terms of what we call cash flow, right? Cash flow. And so I probably need to make another video explain this. I think the most overlooked part of velocity banking is the debt payoff order and understanding that simply replacing a loan with a line of credit will not do you any good, right? A lot of people fell into that trap. First lien HELOC replacement, And then they're just like, whoa, first lien HELOC, simple interest versus amortized interest, and then wonder why like they're paying more than they have to. Folks, every time I've done these velocity banking demonstrations, I'm I rarely had a case where it took more than 7 years to pay off a mortgage. And when I see like 7 to 10 years, that's almost like that's like no man's land. You know what I mean? And I've seen people on YouTube talk about first lien HELOCs and take 16 years to pay off the mortgage. Folks, I don't think you've ever seen a video where it took me 16 years to pay off a debt, right? Or a mortgage. So let's go ahead and do this one. And what we're going to do is just do $10,000 chunks, I think. No, let's just do 7 or 8. We'll do 7, okay? Let's do 7,000. So it's just a small chunk. I just say, just as a general rule of thumb, just do similar, whatever similar to your paycheck. And then you see that in 2 months, it completely pays off, right? And you just rinse and repeat over and over again. It's how easy it is. Pay it off. Use all your cash flow, right? You easily pay it off, right? And then now let me pull out the velocity banking calculator here, okay? Now, here's the thing. You might actually decide at this moment in time, do I really even want to pay off the mortgage? Right? Because if I got a rental property at this stage, I got this $3,800 of cash flow. And so if the tenant doesn't pay, yeah, it kind of sucks, but I'll be able to withstand it, right? I'll be able to withstand it. Okay. So I'm just going to go over some really important highlights of rental real estate. Number one, you have to buy it at a discount, right? That's how a fix and flipper makes their money. A fix and flipper doesn't make money by decking out their house. It's based on the location, it's based on the area, it's based on um, the surrounding properties, how the surrounding properties are. That's kind of where a single family home, that's where it gets its home value. And then what you do is you find a distressed property and then fix it up, and that's where the value add comes, right? If you buy a property at retail, the only way the value will add over time is based on forces you can't control. And you don't want that, right? So let me just kind of show you something here. So you see this here? Yeah, you see this here? This is a screenshot of my Zillow page for my property. And look at this, 2022. Remember when everybody was going crazy over real estate and buying at the peak of the market? Like they're literally buying at the peak, and they think I gotta pay asking over asking price. Well, the thing that you want to do, and I think it actually gives you more confidence to buy at a discount at the peak of the market than when the market is b- low. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, this can work in any market, right? So here, Zestimate about 317. Okay, sold 210. So $100,000 discount, right? That's essentially what you need. Like you see a property and the properties around there are like 200, you need to buy for 100. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of look for that. That's like the ultimate rule when it comes to rental real estate. So let's say, hey, we're not going to pay off this loan. Let's go ahead and buy it. So and maybe we'll get a $200,000 loan or something, you know what I mean? And this is just a cowboy math, so don't take this too seriously. But think about this, right? Let's say you get a $200,000 loan, and we're just going to copy this. And investment mortgages are usually like 8%, right? So this is 8%. And you go to the full term of that loan, 360 months. How much are you paying in interest? You're literally paying like 150% at least in the loan, in the interest itself. And so when you see like $200 of cash flow, this is why, right? Because you're literally paying for like 1.5 houses or in interest. So it's like 2.5 houses in total. You buy your own house and then you buy 1.5 houses for the bank. Okay. So even if we buy it at a discount, okay, even if we buy it at a discount, we still got to pay the loan off quickly, or we might as just sell it and take the profit and run. You know what I mean? Get the fix and flip equity, or yeah, equity, sell it, get the profit, and then run, rather than just waiting 30 years to pay the bank and be the unofficial middle management for the bank. We don't want to do that. Okay, so let me go ahead and kind of show you what things would look like now for the landlord. Okay. So if I just kind of add another line item right here, okay. So let's say that we get another $200,000 loan at 8%. This is the number that we need. Okay. All right. So because we haven't added the tenant's income yet, if we get a loan for a rental property and we take a look here, 2,330, if the tenant doesn't pay, our cash flow will be at about $2,333.37, right? Now, let's go ahead and add the tenant's income right here. So this will be plus $2,000. But remember, we don't get the whole 2,000. That doesn't add into our gross, what they call our gross operating income, right? So what we got to do is multiply it by 70% to count for the expenses. So 30% goes to expenses, 70% is our what we call our gross income. All right. Or I'm sorry, is it gross? No, net operating income. What am I thinking? I'm totally getting the words mixed up, but you know what I mean. Okay. So if our tenant pays, our cash flow will be about $3,733.37. Okay. Now, instead of doing what most landlords do, okay, instead of doing what most landlords do, which is just get the tenant's rent, pay the expenses, and then have that $200 of cash flow left over, we're going to use our money and the tenant's money to pay off the rental property. Okay, so give me one moment to show the velocity banking spreadsheet. All right, there we go. There we go. We filled out this velocity banking calculator provided by Renatus. If you're interested in not only learning about velocity banking, but about real estate investing and financial literacy, go ahead and click the Google form link below to find out more about what Renatus is about. But let me just kind of quickly talk about the numbers here. And again, this calculator it's not made by me, it was made by them, right? So just showcasing it. But here's the thing. Uh, let's say a $200,000 loan, and you combine the tenant's income and your income, and you still have a mortgage to pay, guess what? First rental property will take 3.8 years to pay off. 3.8 years. Okay. That's the first one. All right. So now we just rinse and repeat the same process over and over again. Right. So we just get another property at discount. Hopefully, our negotiation skills are much better this time. Right. They'll be much better this time. And we just do the same thing again. And guess what? We just get another tenant and we do the same thing. Right. So add another $2,000 to our income. But because hold on, let me think about this. Our personal mortgage hasn't been paid off yet. Yeah, okay, I'm doing this right. So we just add another tenant, pay off the loan, rinse and repeat the process over and over again, right? And then you can see right here, 2.9 years it's the next property that it takes to pay off. Okay, and then we get the third one, right? After we paid off the third one, our second one, right? Then we get the third one. Okay, third one takes 2.3 years to pay off. So you literally paid off 3 properties so each property took you less time to pay off than an average person would pay off a car. And not only that, you built cash flow and equity. Cash flow and equity, right? So if each house is about 350, we'll say after about 10 years is 350, and the cash flow on average we'll say is about, I don't know, 1,500 a month at that time. Folks, that's like more than $3 million in equity and cash flow. Cash flow you got to measure over the life of the time you hold the property, and equity is just immediate, right? So you only realize the equity once you sell it, but you still a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So look how easy that is. Look how easy it is to dominate the landlord game. Do you think after 3 paid off rental properties in a short amount of time, you'll want to get 20? Probably not, because you don't want to deal with tenants. Tenants can be a headache. Tenants can be a hassle, right? You don't want to deal with that. But I don't know what it is about most landlords where they want to borrow all the money in the world, and it's like, hey, I'm going to work hard so I can give money to the bank and just keep leveraging over and over again, right? So the reason why banks love loaning real estate because look how much money they get, right? So yeah, okay, all right. So this is how I would dominate the landlord game, and let's do this. Let's say we got three paid off rental properties, and I'm just gonna add up these right here. So this is 3.8 plus 2.9 plus 2.3. So that's about 9 years we got paid off, right? 9 years. So let's just go here. Okay, 9 years. So what's 9 times 12? 9 times 12. That's 108. Okay. So 108 plus 39, right? Plus 39 is 147. Okay, 147, right? So the current balances of our loan is about 156,000, okay? But we got all this cash flow, okay? So let's go ahead and calculate what happens, how long it's going to take to pay off our personal property now with three rental properties because we just put a pause on that, right? We put a pause on that. So let's go ahead and do that. And let me just do this right here. 156,927.83. 156,927.83. Okay. And this is going to be 6%, and this could be 1199.1, I believe. Okay. So let's just do $12,000 chunks. Doesn't really matter though. All right. So now let's go ahead and do this right here. So now we just got to take away this because this is now accounted for here. All right. All right. All right. All right. Oh, 1.5 years. Ooh, 1.5 years. All right. So 1.5 have, wow, this is amazing. Okay. So in about 10.5 years, we'll have 4 paid off homes, including our own personal home. So when all of your homes are paid off, all of them, it's so simple. It's so simple. Folks, nobody should be a tired landlord, right? Because it's not that, all right, think about it. If you get a property for $1, right, and you have to deal with a tenant, I don't think you'd be tired. And if you got paid off debt, I don't think you'd be tired. The tiredness comes from that the juice is not worth the squeeze. So if in the best case scenario, right, your best case scenario is you're making 100, 200 monthly cash flow, it's not worth the squeeze, right? And you got to deal with people who don't want to pay. So people who don't want to pay, unfortunately, they can't stay, right? They cannot stay. In Spanish, I think they would say no se puede quedar. I think. I don't know. I gotta ask ChatGPT. I'm just kidding. All right. So, okay. Well, folks, sometimes this stuff is way too easy for me that I'm just like, isn't there anything else to it? And I know for some of you, you got your mind blown, right? It's all relative. We're at different levels. Okay. But yeah, that's it for today. All right. So let me go ahead and end here. Now, here's the call to action. If you're interested in learning about this stuff, go ahead and click the Google form link below. Okay. Go ahead and click the Google form link below. Book a call. I make the form a little bit unfriendly on purpose because too many time wasters. But hey, if you got a good heart and you understand where I'm coming from, then go ahead and click the Google link form below. All right. Have a great day, and we'll speak next time.